Leo, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for early July 2025. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business, as always, and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we can dip our toes in the energy, see what's happening for the lovely Leo collective. I hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide, spirit team, talk to me. What do we got for these beautiful Leos in early July? What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? Yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Leo. Early July. We're getting very close to your birthday, my good friends. I hope you're all making plans. Let's get this card out real quick here. What's the vibe for my Leos, my lions and lionesses? Okay, cool. Okay, find the lesson. So this is a card that has a lot of contemplating to me. And yes, we're still using the Alice deck. And put it down right here. Now, to me, it's like I'm thinking about this. I'm looking at every angle. It's definitely a think before you act type of energy too. So like to me, it feels very thoughtful for one reason or another. Now that could be a very good thing. Sometimes it could be a little frustrating though. Before we fully dive into that though, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the July subscriber surprise towards the end. So you might want to check that out. Also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk more about this card. So we see there's a lot of people here, and I always say with this deck we don't want to just go on the strict picture and the meanings here. When I think of finding the lesson, specifically if you've been recently going through a bit of choppy times or some rough things or some roadblocks, sometimes it is good to do a little troubleshooting, like, all right, where'd that go wrong? What could I have done different? And again, doesn't mean it has to be you. It could be someone else you're connected to that's doing that inner search, that inner work, which could be really good. Finding the lesson in all things can be very valuable. So whether it's a win that you have and you find the lesson where it's sending you, I mean, even a loss, finding the lesson in that could sometimes be even more valuable. But the overarching theme I'm picking up with this card is like, I'm thinking, I'm mulling something over, think before I act. So there is a very strategic energy connected to this card as well. So that's something to keep in mind, especially as we move through the first couple of weeks of July. That spirit might want you to just have more of a strategic mindset about things, like really think something through. Hopefully it's not dwelling. For some of you, yeah, maybe there is a situation you're dwelling on a little bit. Nothing wrong with that. But we're just going to let it chill over there. Let's get into tarot. And I always say the first card here, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for the lovely Leos. What's happening? And while we shuffle this up and get it ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. It was unique, for sure. It was a lot more complex than what I'm usually used to seeing for the Leo readings, because we had 2 simultaneous energies. The reading was titled A Big Loss and Bigger Gain. So it was like something went a little rough, but something better happened because of it. So it's like we had an ending and then a beginning, or something rough, then something really good. And it kind of felt like paving the way in some sort of sense, but it felt like there was really good stuff, but there was also that little choppiness. So we're going to see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else's, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards to start us off. Let's get it going for the Leos here, early July. Ace of Wands, fiery. So yeah, just when I was saying here in this first card, like, oh, think before you act, we have a card that's like, no, use your instincts. No, just do it. Don't even think about it, which total opposite of what that first card was telling us. Now, I love the Ace of Wands, especially in a fire sign reading, especially in the first position. So this can be really nice. Let's get a couple more. What else do we have here for Leo? It could be communication. 7 of Wands, lots of fire. So, I mean, this could be your wheelhouse. It could be. Let's get one more out here, then we'll piece it together. We'll see if we get some air, or maybe even more fire. Who knows, right? Let's get it going. What do we have here for Leo, please? Thank you. Queen of Wands, tons of fire. Now, there are some really strong positives that we could pull when there's a lot of fire, especially for a fire sign. There could be some things to watch out for too, though. But let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, and we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. But at first glance, I was speaking about it, and we're going to talk about it a little further. I always look at the elements first because that tells me where the energetic potential is and how the energy is moving. We have all fire, and as a fire sign yourself, you could feel pretty comfortable with this, right? We got the Ace of Wands, the Seven of Wands, the Queen of Wands, one of your big power cards right here on the back end. Remember, it's not gender specific. So when I see this, I'm like, all right, this could be really, really good because remember, fire represents your inner vitality, your energy, the actions that you take, that internal combustion engine. So it can be really great for motivating yourself and making stuff happen. But there's a downside to fire. It can be explosive, it could be unpredictable, it could be a little volatile. So we're just going to have to see how it all plays out. I feel optimistic about what I'm seeing here, Leo, but there could be various things that intensify quick, quick. Now, hopefully it's a good thing, but let's go through that this piece by piece and really start to build it out. So position number one, we are starting with the spark plug. We have the Ace of Wands right here. Now, I always say all aces are beautiful. All aces represent offers, they represent opportunities. They're communicators, so it could be messages and talks and stuff like this. So this could be a communication of importance for one reason or another. But all the aces tie heavily into the suit. So again, with the fire, like I said, it's like it's amped up. It's like, let's go, let's get this moving, let's get it going. Very good for new things, new endeavors, new thought processes. So I really do like this for a lot of you. But the challenge, as I'm sure you could guess it with this Ace of Wands, it could be a live wire. This could be a talk that gets a little bit out of hand. This could be something where it's like, no, I'm not waiting, I'm doing. It's a huge card of action, like act before you think. So it's interesting that the very first card we had was like, think before you act. Now the energy in the main part is showing up like act without even thinking about it. So again, whether it's urges that you're going to be having, or it's like, I feel like I need to do something. It's just like built up inside of me. And yeah, it can be explosive. So we're just going to have to see how it all plays out. I think it can be really good because I like this new, fresh, fiery energy right here in the front, especially for a Leo. Now, moving to the middle, we have a card that will not give up. We have the Seven of Wands right there in the center. Now, this card is very polarizing, so it really depends on what your personal situation is right now. But let's go through the positives first. We see that individual, it's like they're fending off all those people, they're doing battle, it seems like. But the positives of this, it's an energy that does not quit. It's an energy that does not know how to quit. It's an energy that says, I will never stop. I'm going to do what I'm going to do, and I'm going to make it happen however I want to make it happen. It's like very headstrong in that way. It's a huge card of determination. So it's like, all right, if you knock me down, I'll get right back up, which is a beautiful thing. But there are some challenges here, just like with every card, right? So it's not out of the blue. The Seven of Wands can be confrontational. This could be a card that's a little aggressive sometimes. So it's like, I mean, there could be certain things or certain people you're dealing with might be a little more pushy than you like, or they might be acting a little more aggressive or headstrong than you'd really like. So when I see this, yeah, sometimes it could be aggression, sometimes it could be problems or situations, especially with this person battling, right? Because this person, it's like they're not having an easy go of it. So we'll see how it all plays out. Like for some of you, if we're leaning all into the positive energy, we're looking good. Like this is an energy that's going to move forward and it's going to make stuff happen. But we're just going to have to see. Because to me, I feel like it's a coin flip, if that makes sense. Now, moving to the back end, as we get the Seven of Wands tucked back in right here in the center, we have the beautiful, lovely, confident, sexy Queen of Wands right there. Big Leo power card. Now, as I already mentioned, it's not gender specific. So for all Leos, this is a really good card for you. Queens in tarot represent the internal aspects of the suit. And we've already gone through at length the suit of wands, the fiery action. So when I see her, it's like I'm confident, I look good, and I feel even better. It's like I'm on top of the world here. So for some of you, hopefully there's something that really goes your way, and it's like, yeah, I did that. Yeah, I made that happen. Yes, like I deserve my time to shine when I see the Queen of Wands. And again, she's just beautiful, she's confident, and she feels great. But the challenge of her, especially since she leans heavily into self confidence, for some Leos, there could be certain things that you are losing confidence in, where it's like, oh, I don't know about that. Oh, I don't know about that person, or oh, I don't know about this situation. So we're going to have to really piece this together. And again, Leo is a zodiac sign that does not lack for self confidence. That's one of the gifts of your placement. So when I see the Queen of Wands, either it's just like feeling awesome, top of the world, or it could be the complete and total opposite, where it's like extremes, right? We're all human. We feel those those swings from time to time. And with all this fire, there could be things that swing in different directions really, really quickly. So we're just going to place her right back there, Leo. I want to dive deeper on all of it. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here for my lovely Leos. What's happening? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Ace of Wands. Oh, and yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Leo, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, let's get this Ace of Wands going. Why is it here for my good friends? Quick, super, super quick. I mean, these cards are cut from the same cloth. Honestly, when we see the Ace of Wands, Page of Wands, very, very similar. We're starting to pick up a lot of people, and you see the fiery theme here. Now, to me, and I'm going to have to split this positive negative. It's the oddest thing where, like, even last week's reading, it's very, very polarizing. Because I feel for some Leos, this is amazing. This is awesome. This is like some of the best energy we could possibly pull from. But for some other Leos, this could be very challenging to deal with. So hopefully you're not dealing with a lot of volatility. But when I see the page, it's a new, fresh card of communications and messages. So this could most definitely be an explosive talk or an explosive message coming in when we have the Ace of Wands, Page of Wands. Now, if we are talking about work, if we're talking about projects or things that you're putting your attention on that are fresh and new, love it. Ace of Wands, Page of Wands, it's like 2 thumbs up, green light from Spirit. Yeah, Leo, make it happen. This looks good. It checks out. Go for it. It's really good for that. But in the communication sense, either it's an explosive talk or message. So whether it's a message that comes in out of nowhere or a conversation that gets a little out of hand, like it could be either or. So I'm getting like a variety pack of energy here for some of you. Very, very unique. That's one thing I will say. But again, with all this fire, that's your wheelhouse. Like this is Leo energy. Like you could work with this. You know, Leo is a fixed fire sign. You do like a little more predictability than some of the other fire signs, but I feel like you can understand it and you could work with it. So whatever situations or people or things that you're dealing with, whether they're volatile or not, it's like, yeah, no, I understand it. I know how to work with this. I know how to make this work. So again, explosive message or talk. So again, whether one that pops in out of nowhere or something that picks up a lot of steam, we're just going to keep pressing forward. But again, beautiful for new ventures, what you have ahead of you. Spirit giving you 2 thumbs up. But let's see what's up with that 7 of Wands. So a whole ton of fire. Whole ton of fire. So why is that 7 of Wands here for Leo? Yeah, this energy is not slowing down. So, and we're going to split this the same exact way, my friends. Now, for a portion of you, if you are having any problematic things, problematic people, or just clunky energy in general, when I see this alignment, it's like, no, you will push through. You can push through. If there is something you want to accomplish, if there's something you desire, if there's something you're wanting to make happen, you will make it happen. Because 7 of Wands, Knight of Pentacles in reverse, it's like, I will make this happen. I will push this through. But for some of you, now we're getting to the challenging thing, you could be dealing with either a person or a situation that is very, very set in its ways, where it's like, nope, this is how I always do it. Nope. It's like pushing back at every turn. So it's like we have this odd energy where, like, for some of you, it could be really fantastic. For some of you, this could be extremely frustrating. Okay. Especially with the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. Now we're getting a lot of people here too. So that's another thing I'm going to mention. Just watch out for like dealings, social dealings, the people in your circle, co-workers, you name it. Because we have the Page of Wands, the Queen of Wands, Knight of Pentacles. It's like people starting to show up. But let's keep moving. Again, I feel like for some of you, this could be great. It's like, I can't be stopped. I won't be stopped. And my mind is set on something. Either that or you're dealing with a person or a situation where it's just very set in its ways for whatever reason, which could be frustrating. But let's go in on the Queen of Wands. We'll see what she says. Then we'll get into a quick recap before we jump into the shadow. So again, very layered reading, just like last week, but I'm liking how the energy pushes through either way. Like the energy, if you're dealing with things that have been a little stagnant, they're not going to be for long. That's how this energy shows to me. It's like one way or another, this energy is moving forward. Okay, and boom, there it is. Boom, there it is, my beautiful friends. Your power card. We have the sun in the upright underneath this Queen of Wands. So it's like, all right, if you just keep pushing, you will be rewarded in the end, my good friends. I love it. Love it. So if we do have this dynamic going within this reading where it's like, yeah, we have this energy that could go south, and then we have the really good energy, it's the positivity wins. That's what I'm seeing here with the Queen of Wands and the Sun card. That's not only your power card, it's also the most positive card in the whole entire deck. Now, one other thing I'll tell you, aside from wins and victories, because with all this buildup, all this pressure, all this fire, it could be an explosive win or victory, of course. But the Sun underneath the Queen of Wands to me, it could be a time where a lot of dots are starting to connect in your mind about people, about things, about situations where it's like, aha, I get it now. Because remember, the sun isn't just about source energy. It's not just about happy, positive sunshine and rainbows. Like, that is part of it. But to me, it's a card of revealing. It is a card of eureka moments, aha moments, revelations, realizations, stuff like that. So when I see two of your power cards together here on the back, I'm liking where the energy is going, first of all. And yes, we have the explosive win victory energy, of course, very claimable. But I also think for a lot of you, you could see situations a bit differently, or you could see aspects about people or things in a different way, where it's like, okay, I get it now. All right, okay, now that makes sense. So again, watch for the revelations, realizations, especially when we have other people, we have communication, there could be information coming to the surface. So we have a lot of stuff going on here, Leo, but I think it ends in a very positive way for you. Let's go through and do a quick recap, then we'll get into the shadow here. So yeah, tons of fire. 5 of the 6 cards are fire elements. So again, your wheelhouse. But position number 1, we have the Ace of Wands, Page of Wands. So again, really good energy. Like if there's something new you're wanting to work on, a new job, a new business, new career, Spirit's like, yep, 2 thumbs up, Leo, go for it, make it happen. It's like super fired up, and I do like that. For some of you, this could be an explosive talk or message. So whether it's one that pops in out of nowhere you weren't expecting to get, or one that gets a little hot and heavy, I guess it depends on your situation. But moving to the middle, we have the 7 of Wands with the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. Now, for some of you, if that's your willpower, if that's your determination, I can't stop, won't quit, refuse to lose. Beautiful, beautiful. But for another portion of you, this could be a person or a situation that is just very set in its ways, very set in stone, where it's like, I will fight you every step of the way. Moving to the back end, though, I love where the energy winds up because we have the beautiful Queen of Wands with the sun in the upright. So again, beautiful energy, explosive win or victory, whatever we want to call it. But I did also say, watch out for revelations, realizations, and information coming to the surface, especially with all the people. So please take a screenshot if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here. And yeah, I always like to pull a shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing too. So let's get you one. Oh, and yes, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. All right, let's get this shadow card out here for my Leo friends. So we're going to get more fire. We will not. Okay, so this card is very common to have in the shadows, and I always say it every time it shows up. I see it at least once a week with some sign or another. We have the Three of Swords. Now, when we're looking at shadows, it could either be within us or just energy that's obscured. When I see the Three of Swords, it's nerves, it's anxiousness, it's pain of some sort. So whether there is something that you are masking right now, I mean, it's human. We do that. It's not like all of us wear our hearts on our sleeves, but there could be something where it's like, I'm still processing this. I'm still dealing with this on the inside, and that's okay. Remember, this card shows up for a lot of people at a lot of times. Now, for another portion of you, there could be someone you're connected to that could be in that same boat when we have the Three of Swords, where it's like, oh, they're bothered, but they're not showing it. So just watch out for that, because there could be someone that's not showing how much they're affected by something. Again, healing journeys and stuff like that, I mean, that's all done on your own timetable, and it deals with your awareness. But this is not an uncommon shadow card to see. But with all this fire energy, it's pushing forward one way or another. But yeah, Leo, that's what I have for you this week, my beautiful friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the July subscriber surprise. If you would like further insight on your situation, you could book a personal reading with me on my website, mastermetaphysics.com. My digital calendar's over there, so you could go check out availability. But for the July subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 3 copies of one of my most favorite decks, the Tarot of the Owls. It's beautiful, it's unique, and it definitely fits the season. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things, as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed, and second, let me know down in the comments, for all the uses that tarot has to offer, which do you think is best? Do you like using it for love situations, personal, financial, business, you name it? You put it in the comments, you'll be entered to win. And at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.